Believe it or not, I actually managed to predict this back in 2018. When you stop looking at the slippery slope as a logical fallacy and you look at it instead as a tool through which you can predict things, you become like Nostradamus. I think like this is a power that many people are afraid of, which is why they're trying to dissuade people from using the slippery slope, and they're mislabeling it as a fallacy. Because I've used it so many times and it seems that I'm always right. Back in 2018, many companies were pushing for online only. Like you had single player games that required you to create an account in order to play. You had many services that could have just worked perfectly offline, but they required you to create an account in order to use them. And I said that it's going to be so ridiculous that in the future, Windows itself is going to require you to create an account in order to install Windows on your PC. And then you also notice that most of these companies have more and more draconic terms of services that police what you say online. So putting two and two together, I concluded that it's going to take a couple of years until you need to be online only in order to install Microsoft. And then if you say bad things online, they can just shut down your computer. Now, in 2018, this was considered fringe, crazy, ridiculous, fear-mongering. And people said it's never going to happen. And the reason that I knew that the slippery slope is going to take me what I need to be is due to the fact that there was nothing preventing this from not taking place. Like there was no backlash from culture against online only services. There was no backlash against people being spied and their privacy invaded by corporations in order to see if they're having any Hassesprache in their computer, right? So like because this didn't take place, I was like, well, if there's nothing stopping it, I mean, obviously companies are going to want to expand their influence. Obviously companies are going to want to have the position to social engineer society. Why wouldn't they? So here we are. We got Elon Musk talking about literally the same thing that I was talking in 2018. Apparently, he wanted to install Windows on a computer and he wasn't allowed to do it unless he connects online. Now, he got community noted, and there is apparently a way to do it, right? But it's a little bit complex. Most normies don't even know about it. And the thing is, like, it shouldn't be complex. And my prediction is that if it's already fringe, if it's already, like, difficult to figure out how to install the latest version of Windows on a computer without being online, it's only a matter of time until they're going to remove that version. The thing that I predicted in 2018, and no one believed me, I'm going to make the same prediction now. Let's see if people believe me this time. But the thing is, if you go on Microsoft Terms of Service, you're going to see that they have policies against harassment, bullying, hate speech, like all that other bullshit, which exists everywhere on the internet now. Interestingly enough, how racism doesn't go down, like despite the fact that the internet is more police than ever, despite the fact that people are thought police on every platform that they go, racismus hasn't gone down. Funny how that works, right? But anyway, they have like these policies. And they also have AI, right? So like they can actually know what's going on your computer without the need of a human being. So at any point, the AI can decide to just break your computer. Now, my prediction is that they're not going to use these TOS frequently, right? Like they're just there. Like many other draconic TOS, they're just there, they exist, and they're not going to apply them until they want to. So if you have like a popular person, right, like an upstarting politician that's promoting populism, and he's becoming way too famous, well, then they can enact the TOS, right? Like remember during the pandemic, there was this documentary which Google Docs was removing. So like you could have your documentary on Google Docs or on your computer and all of a sudden it's deleted. Like they can literally now delete information from your hard drive if they so choose. Like when I say that there is no bigger spyware than the Windows update, I know what I'm talking about. Because like the antivirus isn't going to stop that. Now many people say, well, you don't have to update. That's not the fucking point. Right? Like you're not talking about you as an individual who's computer savvy and knows work around this and knows how to use Linux and shit. Okay, like we're not talking about that. There are obviously ways that you can bypass this bullshit for now. But the thing is, we're talking about percentages of people. We're talking about like the demographic of users who are using Windows. They're not going to stop using Windows. It's out of convenience. They don't know how to use anything else. You're not going to get like a massive percentage of people to go to Linux. You can't get people to cross over to BitChute or Rumble or any of the other alternatives. So if you can't do that, how do you expect you're going to get people to cross from Windows to Linux? This is why Microsoft is aware of it, and this is why Microsoft is more than willing to do this shit. The only way you could stop this shit would be through legislation, but good luck with that. To be honest, like, maybe they can get sued in the European Union, so like the EU may actually have laws to prevent them from doing this. Especially if you can show damage. Like, okay, you bricked my computer, but I had important files there. I don't know how it's going to work, but it is very concerning. Again, I don't expect that they are going to enact this legislation en masse. Like, I don't expect you're going to see people all of a sudden being affected by it. But chances are, like a couple of individuals here and there, you know, whenever someone becomes problematic, we get to see this with PayPal. Like, PayPal is breaking a lot of artists, right? So, like, if you look into the artist community, people who make a living drawing fan art of various fandoms and stuff, they may get deplatformed by PayPal, which is fine, you know, like, private company can do whatever it wants, but if they have money on their PayPal account, like, let's say they have $1,000, $2,000 or whatever, they can't withdraw that money for like 60 days. And PayPal uses that money in order to reinvest, right? So like they're making money off of that. People know, like artists know, they still use PayPal. They don't care. It's the same thing with Microsoft. Like people know. So what? They're still going to use it. I even saw like terms of service. I don't know if they passed or not. Like it was on Twitter. I haven't fact checked, but it basically said that everything you post in Microsoft Word or Excel, you give IP rights to Microsoft. They're not going to actually like seize your property, but like if they want to make a commercial for Microsoft and they want to show like what you wrote as, you know, part of their commercial advertising, apparently they can because you consent to that within TOS. They're overreaching basically. Like they're trying their best. I remember when they did the shit with Xbox One. If you guys remember, like back then, people actually cared about privacy and they realized that privacy is important. So you have this console coming out, and it had the webcam, like you had to buy the webcam, it was called the Kinect, and you were forced to purchase it, you were forced to be online only, and the Kinect would even monitor your heart rate in order to see like when you get excited at video games so that they can sell that information to various companies who are developing games, and it's like, okay, well, this portion of the game is what made people, right? But like, it's the nature of it. Like you're already taking my money when I buy your console. Like now you're also harvesting my life force in order to make more money off of it, and you're not giving me a cent. And then there's the privacy issue. Like I have to trust you with my personal information. And I also have to trust that your security is good enough so that someone doesn't hack you and has access to the information you gather. It's the same shit here, you know, like they're collecting all of this info from what's on your computer in order to monitor for hate speech, and you have to trust them that at no point they're going to get hacked or they're not going to sell it to a third party, right? You have to have faith because Microsoft is such a trustworthy company, they would never. Or that even someone at Microsoft, like not even in an official capacity, right? Like some twat at Microsoft that doesn't just go around and looks at what's on people's personal computers, right? A disgruntled ex checking to see what his ex-fiancée is posting online or on her PC. Yeah, no, I remember during the pandemic how bad it got, right? With the documentary that was removed from Google Docs and all these other places. I mean, there's going to be a time where you will not be able to have information online if the companies don't want you to have it. Unless it's like on a USB stick or on an external hard drive, and even then. If they want to delete something, like when they wanted to delete that documentary, I would say they were kind of like 60% successful. I don't even care about the documentary. That's not the fucking point. The point is that if they want to erase certain information from online, they can. It's very concerning. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.